Financial boom or not, one group always thrives, business leaders. It's a big contradiction of the corporate world. Job cuts for ordinary workers, million-dollar bonuses for CEOs and directors. Try making sense of that. If there is a financial downturn, shouldn't everyone be affected? Well, technically, yes, but in practice, that's not what happens. And why am I talking about this today? Because for some bigwigs, the game is up. Directors at Tesla have settled a lawsuit with their shareholders. Guess how much they're paying? $735 million. The directors will return this money to the company, $735 million. The question is why? Because they overpaid themselves. From 2017, these people awarded themselves around $11 million in stock options. The shareholders caught on to it. They filed a case saying the compensation was too high, and now Tesla has settled. The company won't say why, but court documents say the directors are acting in good faith. Sure they are. What's $700 million over good faith? Elon Musk himself is fighting a similar case. He awarded himself $56 billion in stock options, $56 billion, and that too is being challenged by shareholders. But our story tonight is not just about Tesla. It's about every company out there. Why are CEOs and directors paid these ridiculous sums of money? And why in the middle of job cuts? First, let's look at some numbers. CEOs of American companies are paid around $27 million. That's salary plus stock awards. And this is 399 times more than what average workers earn. 399 times. This gap was not always so high. In 1965, CEOs earned 20 times more. In 1989, 59 times. So what changed after that? Well, in the West, it was a time of economic churn, the 1980s. Governments in the US and the UK cracked down on labor unions. They put more emphasis on the free market, so naturally the gap widened. Another reason was the fall of businesses owned by families or individuals. In their place, shareholders appeared. Now, shareholders are more demanding. They want to see instant results. They want to see profits. So what did board members do? They agreed to pay CEOs more. The assumption was this would drive the company forward, which brings us to present day. High-paid CEOs are a reality of today. Supporters say, let the market decide salaries. If businesses are willing to pay millions, surely they must be worth it. But critics say otherwise. They claim not every CEO is an industry titan. Some of them are piggybacking on other factors like a great tech team or a booming industry or maybe a tax cut. Either way, the payment is ridiculously high and it doesn't change even during bad times. Let's look at some of the big companies now. Meta laid off 10,000 people this year, plus 11,000 late last year. But the same company gave six-figure bonuses to senior executives, not salary, bonuses. Netflix laid off around 4% of their workforce last year. Their CEO has a bonus worth $14 million. Same with Google. They laid off around 12,000 of their employees. That's around 6% of their workforce. But guess how much CEO Sundar Pichai took home? $226 million last year. How do companies justify this contradiction? The argument is the CEOs are highly skilled, that their intellect is key to the company's growth. But if you're firing thousands of people, clearly the company is not growing, yet no accountability. Just think back to the 2008 financial crisis. American banks were headed by the best of the best. And what did they achieve? They plunged the entire world into recession. Tens of thousands of people lost their jobs, but again, no accountability. In fact, they were rewarded. The US government had to spend billions of dollars to bail out American banks. And guess what these banks did with that money? They paid bonuses. 5,000 of the top bankers got $5 billion in bonuses. Tells you where the problem is. There is no scrutiny or independent oversight. Most CEO packages are decided by compensation committees. And who is part of these groups? Board members and executives from other companies. It's like asking actors to rate their own movies. Obviously, it will be 5 stars. So what we need is more transparency, more logic to these numbers. I'm not saying CEOs should earn the same as other workers. They do bring in valuable expertise. They should be paid more than average workers. But how much more is the question? Surely 400 times is too much.